Is it rude for DPS to pull before tanks in dungeons? Da, 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 da. Well, I guess I was going to make something on this eventually, but not for a while. However, as anyone knows, there was let's holy these. There was a big post that blew up yesterday on Twitter. If you're not on the Final Fantasy Twitterverse, it has the best drama and overreactions I've ever seen. You definitely need to get on there. However, since this relates to tanks, I usually do videos on this sort of stuff anyway, so the post was like a meme post, right? So the post said, it's been deleted now, so I can't get it, but it said, if you pull before me in dungeons, and then it had a picture of all the tank stances being removed, and basically this person was saying, if you pull before me in a dungeon, I'll let you die. It blew up, it got over like 1,300 likes, 900 retweets. If we take the likes as agreements, if we just say it's an agreement, for example, the majority of people would probably agree with that person. However, as you know, when you make a really outlandish claim and it blows up on Twitter, everyone jumps on you, all the experienced people, veterans, and they do it in different ways, right? So you got people who are constructive saying, for example, it doesn't really matter, you should use one AoE combo to take them back. Some DPS need to maintain uptime with the stacks, blah 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 blah, fair enough, you know. And then you get the other side of people. The other side of people is the I'm going to attack you side because you attacked me. And this person didn't make it easy for themselves because they started retweeting people disagreeing with them and was saying, oh, found the DPS that pulls before me, and so on and so forth. So basically, to move on from this and to get to the actual topic, what happened was this person ended up deleting the post because people started attacking this person's Patreon, which didn't have many people because I guess it was a new one. They were an artist, so they were insulting their drawing ability and all this sort of stuff, really. So it just, when you make something super outlandish on social media, you have to accept that, oh shit, but I hit this guy. You have to accept that people out there are going to find anything they can to damage you, whether it's your brand, real life pictures, anything like that. They will do it just to spite you because you annoyed them. So that concludes the little drama story, but what is the message behind it? The message is, if a DPS pulls before me in a dungeon, is that a problem? Do I let them die? Should I tank? Now, I understand there is some sort of mental trigger that goes on. I can attest to this because it's something I've experienced as well. That when a DPS pulls before you, something inside your head goes, you know, it snaps. Not as in like you go super angry mode, but something goes, this motherfucker just pulled before me. I used to have that all the time. Up until about like a year and a half ago. But now, honestly, if someone pulls before me, I just tank the thing. I don't find it a big deal. But back then, there was definitely some sort of emotional trigger when someone pulls before the tank that kind of just makes you want to like bring it up and say, hey, don't do that. Or to the extreme, let people die. So I can certainly identify that there is something there that happens when a DPS pulls for a tank. There's no denying it. The amount of likes on that post would also kind of mirror that with the amount of comments of people saying, yeah, the tank sets the pace, etc, etc. Here's just my quick hot take on it, right? So if I play with friends, I don't care if they pull first, they got to maintain stacks. As a tank, I'm doing generally wall-to-wall pulls 9 times out of 10 unless it's a new healer. I'm pulling mostly before the DPS all the time so they can keep stacks. I have these things in mind when I'm pulling. So there's not really an opportunity for DPS to run ahead of me unless they just really want to rush ahead of me. If they do, it's cool. I'll just AoE and take the mobs back. So for me, it's not a huge deal nowadays. But I can certainly see how some tanks and some lesser experienced players with the meta would get annoyed at that. So it's just one of those things. There's no black or white. There's a shade of grey to each side of this. The only thing I'd say is, as per all these topics of Party Finder, just avoid pugs if you don't want to do this sort of stuff. It's simple as that. And do trusts. If you don't like playing with random players and you can't accept that there's going to be different paces, there's going to be different levels of comfort. That's a naked leather fell. And you should just play with your own set group, because maybe you're not a pug friendly player. But either way, I think if you pull before the tank, you have to accept that a lot of people aren't going to like that. It's just ingrained into the culture. I've personally not had a DPS pull before me in a long time, unless I'm with a fully pre-made group of friends, and the monk needs to keep his stacks up. If they do, no big deal, but it's not a normal thing I see that DPS are pulling before the tank, unless the tanks are extremely slow, but I wouldn't know that. So that's my hot take on it. Take every party on a per basis if you're playing with randoms, and it's just a game, bro. Why you gotta be so mad? But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you hate when people pull before tanks? If you're a tank, what is your reaction to it? My opinion is that you shouldn't really care and just get on with the pull. There's no pride being hurt if a DPS pulls before you, but also in my experience it's not that common for DPS to pull behind you, and I'm holding absolutely nothing because I cannot talk and play at the same time apparently. But either way, that's me, and let me know what you think in the comments. But for now, I am out.